Let's take a look at how to use Nano Banana to create branded product mockups. This is another one of my favorite use cases of Nano Banana. If you have ever tried to use these product mockup generator websites like Placeit or other similar ones, then you know how this goes. You usually take your logo, your art, you upload it in there, and you create this realistic looking mockup of what it could look like on different products or t-shirts or swag. The problem there is they do cost money and they're really kind of stock looking. So what you can do now is use AI, these new AI image models like Google's new Gemini model, which is called Nano Banana, and you can create custom branded, unique looking product mockup images in just a few seconds with really any kind of art. So you can upload logos, you can upload designs, and pretty much anything. And I'm going to show you today how to use a smart prompt to turn any of those pieces of art into beautiful custom mock-up images for any type of brand. And the crazy thing is I used the same prompt for all of these. I just uploaded the image and it knew what to do. The AI was smart enough to analyze the imagery and create these mock-ups in just a few seconds. So in today's video, I'm going to go through my 3-step process, showing you how to create a prompt that will do this, how to upload your art, and then the different types of variations you can get. I'll show you my testing, along with some really cool extra testing that I did at the end that was pretty mind-blowing. And this video is for designers, entrepreneurs, and creators who want to instantly turn their art, logos, or brand designs into realistic product mockups using just one AI prompt. With this demo, you'll see how tools like Nano Banana can analyze your uploaded design with incredible accuracy and apply it to t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, hats, pretty much anything you want. And this tutorial is perfect for print-on-demand sellers who need merch mockups for Etsy, Shopify, or Amazon, startups and small businesses who want to see their brand identity on real products before ordering, artists and graphic designers looking to showcase their work on apparel or swag, and marketers and content creators who want professional campaign images without expensive photo shoots. So before we jump into the technical details, let me just show you how cool this is when you get it to work. So you can start with some kind of art like this. It can be a really rough, even low res screenshot. In this case, I just wanted to try a couple variations of it, and the results turn out pretty incredible. You can see the detail, the image quality. You can see the creativity of the AI with how it can put that art onto a variety of different items. Every image looks super realistic and creative. And these images can be used in so many different ways, really ready to go out of the box. And I'll even show you how you can give it a tiny bit more specific details if you have something in mind. In this case, I put woman, sweater, and s'mores, and it just put all that together perfectly into this scene that captures the feeling of this art and showcases it on the sweater. A few more examples of my brand. I gave it a whole kit of logos and designs, and the initial result was kind of confused. It wasn't really sure what my brand was about. So I just gave it a little bit more details like digital marketing brand, and it was able to put it into a scene that definitely feels more appropriate. And over here, I said hat and digital artist, and you can see it created a whole scene here that feels really cool and unique and branded. And even the hat design looks pretty epic. And I actually want to create a hat like that because that looks really cool. Over here, I tried putting it on a black water bottle, and I just said digital artist, so it knew what kind of scene to create. Down here, we've got this custom garage one, and it understood that one a little bit better. You can see the results right out of the gate without any other prompts. It just analyzed that image and created a really cool scene here with the art on a t-shirt. And this one, I gave it a little bit more direction. I said sweater on a man, and it put that together nicely. And what I think is cool is all these just automatically look like they're really cohesive. So the scene that it creates here, the lighting, the feel, it matches the art automatically. The AI is able to analyze the art and create a scene that feels appropriate with it. And I even challenged it a bit. I had that same additional prompt over here, black water bottle digital artist. And what it did is it interpreted that as some kind of digital artist in the garage. So it changed the kind of art that it created. So there are many levels to the intelligence of these AI image models. And if you learn how to use them, it can do a lot of creative thinking for you and do it at a really high level without needing to give it much instruction. And again, I wanted to test a little bit more complicated scenarios. The t-shirt stuff, it can handle that pretty well. This one was a little bit trickier, big logo on window of store. And you can see the reflections, the transparency of it. It really did a good job with that. I mean, this is incredible how real that looks. And over here, you can see it created a variety of swag. So if we zoom in, some things get a little bit goofy when you zoom in really close, especially when it does more objects in one scene. But overall, I think there's some creative angles here. And just for brainstorming, it's really fun to see how your art or your logo could look on all these different items. Then over here, I pushed it a little bit. I wanted to give it a more challenging scene. And it's a little bit goofy here. It looks like maybe the same person in different angles. Not loving that one as much. On this one, I said Gen Z wearing oversized hoodies, riding skateboards, man and woman. And I think it accomplished that really well. So what I'm going to do right now is go through that process with this new artwork right here. So you can see the whole process really quick. Then I'll show you a little bit more technical how to do this. And at the end, I'll show you an even more kind of mind-blowing example of using actual product photos and not just the logo or the art, but the actual product and how smart these image models are at handling that. Okay, so let's go through the three-step process. I'm going to take this prompt here that I wrote, and if you want to get this prompt, there are some instructions here you can follow to learn how to get access. My prompts and my tools aren't free, but I do have some training and resources to help you out. Okay, so I opened up gemini.google.com and I pasted my prompt in, and I will upload the image. I will give it no other instructions, just that one smart prompt that knows exactly what to do. It's going to analyze that image, and it will create a product mockup image based on that art. And while that's running, I'm going to go ahead and go to aistudio.google.com and do the same thing. These platforms are pretty much the same. You can see over here, we're using the Nano Banana image model. We're using the chat feature on Google AI Studio. This is free. They have a certain amount that you can use every day. And I'm not doing anything fancy here. It's just creating the image. So the first one we got here is a t-shirt, which seems to be the default when you run this prompt. And if we pull this up, we can see the result looks really good. If I zoom in, that is pretty amazing. Compare it to the original art that I uploaded. You can see it preserved the quality really well. I don't see any issues with the text, the design. It looks like it's very accurate and on point. And it created this whole scene of being in a barbershop. So you can see how creative it is. I didn't give it any other information. It just analyzed the image and created this entire scene with the artwork on a product. Okay, over here in Gemini, same kind of deal. We can see the scene that it created looks really cool. And these are pretty high-res images that you can download and use for your marketing needs. All right, I'm going to try one more round of this, and I'm just adding at the end here, big logo on window of store to see how it handles that scenario. So at the end of this prompt, I have a little bit more information to challenge it to put this in a different place. So any specific details that you have, you can just drop it in there and it will handle it. There we go. Took about 20 seconds for that one. Let's see the result. All right, this is pretty cool. We see a barbershop in the background. It even doubled up and like added something inside there. I don't know. There's like another sign. We see some reflections of the outside area. And again, comparing it to the original art, it's pretty on point. So it didn't make any edits to it. It did add the year, which could be an issue. You could just go in and tell it to remove that. But overall, we can see a really good job of creating that image. All right, I'm going to try that one more time over here on Gemini. And at the end, I'm going to say big logo on window of store in Austin, Texas, people inside. So I'm going to challenge it a little bit further with additional complexity and those few specific details. This is what blows my mind about these models like Nano Banana, is how smart it is and how much it pays attention to tiny edits in your prompts. So here is the result. We can see now this maybe feels like Austin, Texas. I'm trying to look. I think it definitely has that downtown Austin, Texas kind of vibe to it. We see people inside that actually match the way this guy looks. So that's pretty cool. And it looks super realistic. So just wanted to show you what these models are capable of doing and why you may never need another product mockup site again. Once you get this dialed in, you can do pretty much anything with these AI models. All right, so there we go. We have some of our testing done and we can see the results. With just a few seconds of using Nano Banana, we have these amazing images that we could use. All right, so now you can see this three-step process is really easy, but it does depend on your prompt. So you need to get a smart prompt. And if you want this exact prompt, You can get it right now over at imagehacks.com. You can learn how to get access to my premium prompts and the tools that I use to create these prompts. But if you want to do this yourself, what I do is I go into ChatGPT to write these prompts. Now, I built a tool that will help you do this, and it's really fun to use this tool. I have some built-in kind of starting points as well, and I just recorded a whole video of me going through this process and creating one of these really dynamic smart prompts. So if you want access to all that, you can get it in my course. But for now, if you want to do this on your own, you could use something like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, whatever it is, and you can create your own universal image prompts. So here are 7 things to consider when creating your own prompts. You need to explain what you're trying to do. So you can start by telling ChatGPT in plain words what you want to accomplish. In this case, I want a prompt that takes any uploaded logo or design and turns it into a realistic merch mockup. Number 2, give it some context. Tell the AI what's coming. So prepare it for whatever kind of images you're going to upload. I'll upload 1 or more design. The output should be merch only, shirts, hoodies, mugs, totes, those kind of details about what kind of output you want. So you're telling it what you're going to upload and then what you want it to create. You need to set some non-negotiables, which means making very crystal clear rules like do not alter the design, no stretching, recoloring, or distortion. Number 4, guide it how it should think. So use verbs that signal smart decisions, like analyze the design, choose suitable products. Number 5, describe possible outputs. So offer examples of what good looks like. So maybe close-ups showing print textures and fabric, wider lifestyle scenes, clean studio shots, angled views with believable shadows and reflections. Number 6, tie it back to the brand style. Tell it to read the vibe, which means you can tell it something like reflect the brand's mood in background, props, textures, and lighting. So you want the AI to analyze the art that you upload and then create the scene that matches that brand style. And number 7, build in variation. This is really cool. You can ask for a curated range, not randomness. So something like this, produce several images with different framings and compositions, keep the tone unified, keep the identity intact, and never compromise geometry or spacing. So these are some little hints and tips here to create your own prompts. Those are the types of things that I weave into my smart prompts so it can handle these tasks and create these kind of outputs without any additional prompting. And once you get your prompt ready, now you can go ahead and get your art ready to upload. Now, I showed you some of the more difficult scenarios for the AI. You'll probably have nice high-res, beautiful images ready to go. I gave it pretty low-res, kind of goofy crops and screenshots. Down here, I gave it a whole set of logos to choose from, and it was able to handle that scenario as well. These were a little bit more straightforward down here with screenshots. But again, this one is kind of cropped weird, so it's not even perfectly centered. There's no extra padding around it. So I gave it some difficult scenarios to see how it could handle those, and you can see even with those, it could handle a nice output. Now, one thing to keep in mind is the size of the image that you upload is what you are going to get on the output. So that's why with this one, I tested a more vertical image and then I put it on a more square shaped image. And you can do that very easily by going to a site like Google Drawings. You can go to drawings.new and open up this simple drawing interface here. And you can just take a screenshot of this, which I did. So super easy. You can download that as a PNG if you want. And you can resize the frame. So again, whatever the size or the ratio of this image is, that's what it will generate as the output. So those are some things to consider when uploading your art. And you can see here with this upload, I got this as the output. So it created a vertical image because I uploaded the vertical screenshot. These over here, we're using the other size. And the final thing that I already mentioned is when you are loading those in, you give it the prompt, you give it the image, you can add one more thing, which is a little bit more specific details at the very end of the prompt. So at the end of my prompts, I like to say something like additional details, and I put that in optional parentheses. So if I want to add something like this, I can just give it a little bit more information, and it is really good at following those additional instructions. So a really important key takeaway here is that if you're not getting results like this, it's probably because of your prompting. I've spent many hours testing and trying different things, and I'm able to pretty much create whatever I want to create. And I found that making small tweaks to your prompts, removing things, adding things will make a huge difference in the quality of the output. And what's really cool is if you use smart prompting strategies, you can challenge the AI to do a lot of this thinking on its own, and it can analyze the image, do the creative work on its own, and create these scenes and environments that capture the feel and the message of your brand all inside an image. It can do a lot of communication for you just by creating images like this. And this can save you so much money, so much time on custom photo shoots or wasting a bunch of time in Photoshop. And again, if you want my prompts and this exact prompt that I used today, you can get that now over here at imagehacks.com. The premium prompts and the tools that I use to build the prompts are not free, but you can learn more about how I do this over there and grab some free resources to help you get started with these new AI tools like Nano Banana. And I also have a full course in there that goes through my entire branding process, how I'm leveraging AI image tools to build entire brands from scratch without any design skills, without ever opening any design tools. You can do all of it right inside tools like ChatGPT or Gemini. Now, the final example I want to show you today that's really cool is using actual physical products. So my buddy has this company where it's a backpack that has like a cooler inside, so you can have cold beer at the top of a mountain. And you can see I did the same process here. I uploaded the image with that prompt and it was able to handle the entire product, not just the artwork, but the whole product that I uploaded. Did a pretty good job here. A little bit of issues with the logo itself, but in general, really high quality, super realistic. And we could see that product in a more natural environment. Down here, we have another example of a cooler and it did a pretty good job. It looks very realistic. Those are pretty simple use cases. If I wanted to, I could prompt it further to create different scenes, but just an example of how smart that one prompt is, the same one I'm using for the logos and the art, you can actually handle physical products. And now here's another example that's pretty mind-blowing. This is a much more complicated and abstract product. It's called Puffer Wolf, and it's an insulated blanket that you can take while you're camping or hiking. And I just uploaded this with no other context, just this image, which is to me very confusing what it is. But the result is pretty incredible. It actually understood exactly what was going on. It put it in a scene in the kind of environment you can imagine using it. It actually kind of unwrapped it and put it on this cool bench. It put props around it, and it took the actual bag that it comes in and set that up and propped it up right here. Obviously, it's a little bit weird, super close to the fire. I would not want to have that close to the fire, but overall, it understood what was going on with that product, and it handled it really well. Same thing over here. You could see how it was able to take the logo and actually put it on a mug on top of the blanket, which is really fun, on a beanie, and it created the whole scene. So it really understood what was going on with this product without any other information. I did not give it any details about what this product is. So I challenged it further, and all I did was upload this image, which is kind of showing how insulated the blanket is, and it has the brand logo, and then this funny example of maybe another blanket that would make you cold because it's not as insulated. And it created a pretty interesting result. Again, showing the creative abilities of the AI and how it really understands what's going on. It wrote Cold Night's Adventure on a sweater, and it showed the two different faces on here to explain that. It actually wrapped up the blanket. So it put the wrong blanket over here. So a lot of confusion with what I gave it here. It did not really know what to do with it, but it was pretty creative and I applaud its effort. But over here, I gave it a little bit more information. So I uploaded 2 images and a prompt, and you can see it definitely knew more of what was going on. It packaged it up better. It put the correct insulated blanket on a bench like this. It put that other emoji face on a mug, which is kind of hilarious, but it pulled through the brand really well. It created a tote bag and a beanie. And you can just tell that the AI knows what's going on here without any context. I just gave it these 2 images. All right, and that's it for this demo today. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope it was enlightening and really helpful. And the big point, I'll just wrap this up. You don't have to use these product mockup generator sites anymore. You can create custom branded product mockups in seconds using these new AI image tools. And the results are really, really stunning. And the number one thing you need to figure out right now is how to start creating your own smart prompts to handle these kind of tasks and do some of that creative work for you so you can free up your creative energy to focus more on building your brand and growing your business and not so much in the weeds of getting these kind of tasks done. If you know of any other tools or resources to help you do these kind of tasks way faster and better, drop a comment down below. I'd love to hear about them. Any other hacks or shortcuts that you've found using these new AI image tools? I'd love to hear what's working for you right now. And of course, drop a like if you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and you can check out more resources over at imagehacks.com. You can save yourself a lot of time just by grabbing the prompts that I already made and some of these tools to help you create your own prompts much faster.